Hello and welcome to the live. Just trying to plug in my phone here so it doesn't die because I just got home. All right. Just setting it up. All right. So there are a couple projects coming to the channel, and it is it's a little crazy the things that have happened this last weekend. I need to unplug that because I hear audio feedback. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can't, if there's any audio problems, just let me know. But a lot of things happened over the last weekend that are coming for some projects coming up on the channel. Yay! The channel there is one build that I'm really excited for, and I may have spent a little bit too much on, sort of, not really. It's a good deal. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. Bought an LS for the 67. So in future updates, still working on a situation to have a shop space for it for over the winter. Hopefully they can be at my brother's. And gonna have a shop space to do all of the fun YouTube stuff. Hi CNC Auto Works. How's it going? Just talking about this weekend, pulled an LS, tore apart the whole front end of a vehicle just to get the LS motor out of a vehicle, and now I have the LS sitting in the back of my brother's truck because it's going to sit there for a week before I can unload it at his shop. So there's a lot of it's crazy the amount of stuff that's coming for that C10, C10 910, GMC 910 half ton, whatever people want. So I hear it's like an LS1 block. It's a cast block, but it has LS3 heads on it. I hear that's just how they did it from GM. I'm not so sure. It's from an 06 GMC Sierra. It's a 5.3 liter. So that's a fun little motor that's going to be going forth into this into my 1967 GMC half ton. Yeah, LS sweet. So I videotaped the whole weekend, have 3 different videos of pulling apart the front clip, and just taking the motor out. And it's going to be an awesome video because it's a little rednecky how we got it out. We had an engine crane sitting in the back of a truck, and we lifted the engine up and then pushed the crane back to the back of the box. Hello, Wood and Metal Garage. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to be dubious by saying, like how I said before, we're going to do these streams from 8 to 10 every Monday night. I think so far I've been good with it. Whatever works. Yeah, really, it's just whatever works. Whatever redneck MacGyvery that you can get to work to get stuff home and out. It's just nuts. But the motor was awesome. It was just one thing after another with taking that out, because I don't know how shops get those LS motors and the transmissions out as one unit without taking apart that rad cradle and taking it out. And like, if you don't take off the fenders, the only way you can get the rad cradle off is by pulling the bumper off, so you can squish the rad cradle straight out the front, because otherwise you gotta take the fenders out, because the fenders kind of clamp it in, like it's like top and bottom, the rad's stuck in there and there's no wiggle room to get it out. You can't even like kind of push it sideways to push it out sideways. You have to take off the bumper on those 06 Sierras to get the rad cradle out. And like I said, I have no idea how you would get that motor out without taking apart the front end, because it's just such a tight squeeze with that firewall. Like, I removed the front rad support, the grill, everything in the front got removed. There's pictures of it on the Instagram from this weekend. Removed the whole front end of the truck, and then I had to go underneath. I removed all the engine cross member, the transmission cross member, and the steering rack, just so it could tilt enough and not hit the front firewall to get it out. Like that was nuts. And meanwhile, I'm doing this in the dirt, not on a shop floor, not on a shop bay. It was havoc. It was not a fun experience. Because also the exhaust didn't want to come undone, so just went underneath and had a good old zip cut. But that's coming this winter. This winter, going to be getting the LS mounted into the 67 and really just it's there's so much custom fabrication coming. It's also like I have plans to, instead of modifying the 67 rad cradle 100%, it is maybe modified a little bit to fit the 06 rad. I have the rad cradle from the donor truck from the 06 Sierra, and my plan is to cut the rad cradle to what just holds the rads, cut the rad supports off the original rad cradle, so because it has that space for the rad and it has space in front of it, like there's nothing in front of it, it's just an open square. My plan is to stick the rad cradles pretty much together where those rad supports are, stick them together, and then send my the things like if I do the power steering cooler, or if I plan on putting any future cooling systems on it, it has space for it. Because I do have all the AC stuff for it if I want to go that route. With the AC rad, it's a manual transmission I'm mating this engine up to. It's the original not the original, but a 67 4-speed Maurice. There's a lot of research I've been going into that to get that working. You have to get the 5-speed manual flywheel from I think it's like 95 to 02 truck. Look, you got to get that 5-speed flywheel, pop the pins out. Then the old clutch the bolts line up, but because it's different from imperial to metric, you have to ream the holes out a little bit and it should match. From everything I've seen and researched, that should work. And then I have to have the part numbers here somewhere. Hopefully somewhere still here. The part number for the pilot bearing I need, because the pilot bearing, the shaft from the transmission doesn't sit far enough into the LS engine, so I need to get a pilot bearing that is longer, and there is one make and model that is longer because of a different transmission setup. So it's pretty much they're scavenging parts from every different year and everything, so it will work because GM is almost configurable to anything that is GM. GM can make the GM pretty well. It's just I got to pull from different years and make some models, everything together to make it work. And I've done so much research that hopefully it will work. It's also like I have learned for the LS, pretty much you just got to take all of the pink wires and the 2 orange wires, put them to a battery, and then jump your starter, and away you go. So I have all that. I have the fuse box, so I'm hopefully they be wiring stuff in the bottom of the fuse box. So I have fuses for all these powers and things. It's nuts to think about how much wiring I have ahead of me, how much the harness. I have the full harness. I didn't cut a thing off of it. It's just they be nuts to think of how much harness, like this harness is they be chopped up at the end, but I didn't cut it to begin with, just that way I know what I'm starting from. So that's coming to the channel. That's going to be coming to the channel this entire winter. They be doing an LS swap on an old truck, which is nuts. And it would be way easier if I just stuck the automatic transmission into it for wiring and for play and whatever else. But then I'm like, no, I can't do anything easy. So we're going to stick the old Maurice 4-speed transmission up to the LS. And it's just nuts. So from an '01 or '02 Chevy Express fan. Yeah, I've heard that. Instead of a spacer, you can use the flywheel. So, okay, so I'm not the only one who's ever done this swap. Well, I no, I'm not. I read a little bit of what is it? Hot Rod Magazine. They had a thing on it, a little bit. Instead of a spacer, see, I wasn't going to use a spacer because uh, I think it was the '02 '01 the '02 Express fan. That makes a lot of sense. I was hearing that for the pilot bearing. But for the flywheel, I was hearing like a 95 GMC truck 5-speed flywheel. I just need to pop out the pins in the flywheel because those preset pins are just to align the clutch. Hey, 615 Customs, how's it going? Thank you for joining stream. Just talking about and explaining how I'm about to endeavor on a project of mating up an 06 LS into that 67 truck and to that 4-speed manual. So, yeah, I got to figure that out a little bit more. I'm gonna have to pull the engine transmission back out, so I'm gonna have to mate it up when it's together. The original transmission mounts they can come out, but I'm gonna have to custom fabricate mounts and stuff and figure it out how to get that LS mounted in there. Because I did not realize until pulling out this LS that LS motor is way heavier than those old Chevy small blocks, like crazy heavy. Than I ever expected. To be fairly honest, I didn't realize just how much bigger those motors are for all the fuel injection and everything on them. I am going to just do the original harness for now, and just cut up the original harness. But because I do know those Terminator harnesses are pretty awesome, but it's just an expense I can't have. Iron or aluminum block. It is from a truck, so it's a cast iron block, but aluminum heads. So it should be the LS3 heads, but yeah, it's just the cast iron block. The aluminum block was only in the cars, as far as I know, in like the 90s and early 2000s for LS. There wasn't the trucks never really ever had the aluminum blocks, as far as I've been told. But oh, my dog's here. So there is that. I know I've had some buddies be like, I can modify the heck out of this thing. But to start with, I think I'm just saying get the engine in, get the truck running and going with just the stock configuration. Because I don't need power. I think that engine comes stock with like 300 horsepower, which is crazy because those old Chevy blocks or everything. Because I think this truck came from the era where you had the inline 6 and the 305 V8s and stuff at most. The 286 or the 283 V8s, they maybe had 200 horsepower. Oh, everyone's chatting in chat. I love this. I love that everyone's communicating in chat. We got 615 Customs, AJ. Oh, one sec.
Are you eating supper?
Sorry, my family just asked me, have you eaten food? I'm like, yes, I have eaten food. Food has been entered into the belly. That's good horsepower. Yeah. So like I thought a 350 weighed more than an LS. I'm not sure, but when I took, because I've lifted a 350 and stuff, we've done that with the Bel Air video because there's a 80s 350 in that is just sitting in that engine compartment because we have to get a different flywheel for it to mate up to the original 3-speed in that car. We pulled that engine in and out and stuff, and like this LS is way heavier than I think that motor is. I don't know exact numbers on weight, but I don't know. I underestimated how heavy this LS is and just how big it is because this is the thing. I pulled the motor out with everything on it. I didn't take anything off the motor other than the plastics. So I don't know if that's the difference in weight. It's just that the fact that it has all the fuel injection stuff on it, the coils and all of that. 350 has to be because of cast heads. Like I said, I don't know. It's just the LS motor is just bigger. Like, and it's a small block LS, but it's just bigger. Now I'm wondering the Google's weight of 70s 350. Chevy small block. I have no idea. Cast iron intake LS has aluminum heads and plastic intake. Yeah. Yeah, the LS does have all that. Yeah, people are saying it's around 400 to 500 pounds for that 350. They're saying the weight of a standard. I don't know. I don't know. Internets are talking a little bit at that. I guess LS skirted block would weigh more. Yeah, I have no idea because the block is cast iron, or cast. Is it cast iron or cast steel? Yeah, cast iron. Um, yeah, it has aluminum intakes. I don't. Sorry, the. Now I'm getting confused by myself. The heads are aluminum. The block is cast iron. The intake. I think the intake might be cast iron. It might be aluminum. I haven't checked. But then all the stuff on top of it is just all plastic junk. Because plastic intake, plastic for the coils. Because it has. This was something too that like confused me because I've worked on sleds and how you would have an individual coil for each one of your spark plugs on a sled. The fuel injection motor has an individual coil for each spark plug, and that kind of threw me off. I was like, that's different. That's different than what I've ever seen. That may be. I don't know, when we had no problem lifting out the 350 out of the Bel Air, but taking this LS out and stuff just weighed which is so heavy. So I may be wrong. I 100% agree with, accept that fact of life because I don't have the actual numbers pulled up here about which weighs what and what weighs what. All I know is that LS engine taking it out this weekend was heavy as hell, and it just having the engine crane. Oh man, I have it on video. There's so much stuff with it. It's just crazy. But this, be honest with this, it also might depend on which LS, because I do know there's the 4.5 and the 4.8 LS. I'm pretty sure. Then there's the 5.0. Then I have the 5.3 liter, which is actually a little bit more. Like when looking into it and looking into the stats of it, it is actually a little bit more than that, but they just categorize it as a 5.3. And then I do know there is the 350 LS blocks as well, which is in my buddy's truck. But I know the 350 LS is heavier than the 305 LS, but I'm not sure on the 305 LS it's heavier than the old 70s V8 block. I know for sure the old 305 V8 block is way lighter than the LS 305 block. I do know that because I have both of them here. So that is now I'm interested. Now I want to see if I can grab some weight chain and stuff and see, but I don't have tools that can hold that much weight and measure it. 4.8, 5.3 use the same block. I can believe that. It's just probably bored out a little bit more. I just looked it up. 350 weighs more than a 5.3 LS. Yeah, I can believe you there. I guess I'm comparing it more to the old 305s and the 283s because I've dealt with those motors more than I have the 350s. I guess it also depends on which 350 because there's the 350 2-bolt main and then the 350 4-bolt main, which would be different weight loads because the 4-bolt main would be heavy as hell just because it's just stronger. I'm not thinking hurt my back. Used an engine crane. Just the engine crane was not happy. But yeah, that is not like I am curious with that. I guess it would. Now I just want to grab a chain and a tool and put both of them beside one another and see what the differences are. Because yeah, there's crazy amounts. I know in the 1 ton have a 350 that is fully bored out to I think it's 403 or 406 cubic inch, and that 350, that 350 is fully bored out, and we just have it tuned for torque. All the timing and everything is set up just for torque, not horsepower in that motor. But that's in the 1 ton dump truck. I know, yeah, my buddy, as I said previously, the LS, not the LS, the 60s Bel Air has a 80s 350 in it right now that we're just waiting on getting a flywheel for it, or where they put a different motor in it. We still don't know. He's my brother. That's my brother's car. He's deciding what he wants to do with that. But yeah, there's still a ton of research I got to do on this 5.3 LS. I can't say I'm an expert. I'm just a young buck still learning the trade. So there's still tons to pick up and figure out. Like I said, I got to figure out how they mount this thing because I have the 06 GMC engine mounts with it. So I might just fabricate something to like be a receiver to that mount and make it work, or I might be able to make something work with some of my contacts in the city. They might have something that would bolt up to that GMC mount, the 06 mount, that I can just weld on the frame. I'd rather not weld on the frame. I'd rather just bolt something to the frame and build a holder bracket. A young buck. A young buck. Well, a buck is a deer, is a male deer. And so it's always saying here, like, hey, young buck. It's just I think it might just be my family thing because I don't hear even much people outside my family say it. It's just something I picked up somewhere. So I just call myself the young buck because I'm a little deer headed and my eyes are, I'm a little blinded by the end of the road, like where they hit 100. I know where they hit 1,000 subscribers. The goal is by next summer. I know where they do it. I'm a little blinded by that, so I'm a buck. I'm blinded by the headlights, so I'm just a young buck because I'm stupid. I'm young. I've heard that my whole life. See, I'm not the only one. 615 custom young buck. I don't know. I think I picked it up from my grandfather. Actually, to be fairly honest. Hey, dog, you're doing good. Dog's like looking like she's upset on the floor there, just because I'm not petting her. No, you're not stupid. I'm not stupid, but I have lots to learn, and I just spend all of my time on cars. Oh, like I can't believe. It didn't actually take as long to take out the LS, but I do know at the end of it, when we were taking it out, it was just get it out, get it gone. Dark's coming. I'm done. I don't even think I put an end. I didn't think I even filmed an outro to that video yet, just because I was tired. I was so dead tired. Hey, stuff with Cletus. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about how this entire weekend I spent my entire weekend pulling out the LS motor out of a donor truck that is posted on Instagram, and it's going into the 67 truck this winter. What I miss? Well, just what I just said. Talking about how I just pulled an LS out of a donor truck this weekend, and it's going into my 67. Hopefully, as soon as I can figure out how it's going into the 67, because I got to figure out motor mounts. That's pretty much the biggest thing I got to figure out, and figure out how the fab up is motor mounts into that. And we're talking about young bucks. I don't have I only have a couple bucks to my name. Like this young buck's got nothing. Schneider is my Canadian. Do you just say that every stream? It's just like you just pick someone and you're just like, they're family. Yeah, Cleus is my cousin from across the border. We got motor mounts. You got motor mounts. Well, then you might have to send me a message on Facebooks or whatever, because if you got motor mounts that they're in my price range that I could just mount the LS into the 67, I'm more than willing to do a deal, because I like to do fabricating. I just don't like to do fabricating in the winter. You should be able to buy parts to directly bolt that engine in it. Yes, you can. It's just I don't want to spend $500 for the the mount setups, the ones that, because you need both ends of the mounts, the one that goes on the frame and then the one that goes on the motor, and then shipping to get it here. That's the biggest thing. It'll cost just as much in shipping than it will the part. So it'll cost me like $500-600 if I buy motor mounts. That's where I have the motor mounts out of the 06. If I can fabricate something, that would be great. I looked them up from Racing Summit. It's like $130 for each piece. So right there's $300 and then $200 shipping. It's like $500. At least for me to get it. No, AJ. I appreciate it. I can afford my projects. We have your projects to build in the future. Yeah, it's just I'm not buying mounts just because of the cost. Like unless someone can find me something that's like $150, maybe. But also like it's got to depend on where it's going. Hey, Wasted Talent Fabrication. See, you're a fabrication guy. You would actually know how to do it. We're talking about how kind of ideas and stuff of how I'm going to get the LS motor I just bought out of an 06 GMC Sierra into the 67 910 half ton that I've been working on, and that's on the channel. Because I got sick and tired of blowing through junkyard motors. I'm like, let's go and move up to a junkyard LS. They're cheaper. I have to figure out how to get that LS mounted into the frame. I do have the 06 motor mounts. I don't want to buy motor mounts because I can't find them cheap. Everywhere I've looked is not cheap for motor mounts. So I think I'm just saying my idea is I'm just saying fabricate something that bolts onto the frame and goes to the bottom of the 06 motor mounts to go into the motor. And I got to figure out spacing and stuff because I don't want to move the manual transmission for the 4-speed because it's already in there. The transmission's already good and set in place. I may pull it out to mate the engine and the transmission, but it's got its placement. I know where it's going. So I got to place the engine depending on where the transmission is, which is maybe beneficial, the fact that I put a 5-ton cab on there. Hey, dudes with wrenches, welcome to the live stream. We're just talking about LS swapping my 67 half ton, and the fact that I have not really much of I have a little bit of an idea, not a huge idea. Yeah, like how 615 Customs said earlier, Racing Summit costs too much for motor mounts. I don't know anywhere else to get motor mounts that I sort of like. I've seen a lot of kind of shitty CNC, like they're not sorry, rephrase. They're good. They're good motor mounts and stuff that people have CNC cut and made. It's just if I'm going to do something like that, I might as well pay the local CNC guy and get him to cut all the plates for me and me weld them together and I'll spend the same amount, but then I have money going to someone local, than to buy some CNC plating online. Yeah, you can just fab off the 06 mounts to the frame. Just make sure you make a plate to bolt the 06 mount on and off. Yeah, I agree with that. I really agree. I really like the input here. Like 615 Customs, like if you know of some cheaper motor mounts and stuff that will work and all that, I'm all ears. I just, for my research and stuff, I just haven't found any. And there are super, super cheap ones out there on sketchy sites. I don't fully trust that with my investment. Or better yet, just bolt a motor that drop right in there, like let me think, a big block Chevy tunnel ram. See, it's costs. This 06. See, I've been looking for motors and stuff. I put enough junkyard motors in there that have cost me money, and they just blow up and not work. So those motors just, I've gone through enough motors and stuff, and I just don't have the money to dish out $3 grand to $3.5 grand for a properly built small block Chevy or even a big block Chevy. I just don't have the money for that. I got this 06 I pretty much got access to an 06 donor truck that has a good running motor and everything. I got everything. I got everything out of the engine bay. So I have the rad cradle to hold all the rads and stuff that I may fab something up. I have literally the ECU, the map sensors, all the intake stuff. I just have the whole wiring harness. I just can play with whatever I want with here for like $700, which is good. And then I got the transmission with it. They resell the transmission, so I have a really good deal on this engine setup. I used a 1.25 Dom off the frame and a 1/4-inch plate at the end for the mounts to bolt to. That's really cool. Yeah, I definitely know if I'm going to be welding anything with like plate size and stuff, I'm going to probably mock it up and I'll do the cuts, but then I'm going to bring it over to my welder buddy because he has high industrial welders. Mine's okay for doing body sheet metal, but mine's not good to heat up enough and bond metal together that I want to make sure it doesn't kill me. I should take you over to Jay Ride's place. I don't know where Jay Ride's place is. I don't even know who that is. But if he has some ideas, then yeah. Engine plates are always an option. I highly believe that. Yo, stream. Hello, a Mustache Yoshi. Yes, I've been doing streams from 8 to 10 on Mondays for the last little while, and I hope to continue that because it keeps you guys in the loop of what's going on for projects, what's coming up for future projects, also for your guys' input because you guys know a lot more than I do about mechanics and stuff because I'm just a young buck. And I really appreciate the live streams and I really appreciate the input because sometimes you need a third person there to have another view on it, and so things don't go crazy and out of budget. Hey, Master S, how you doing? The motor placement is a big thing. I highly agree. Like, I think I'm going to have to custom, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy any mounts anyways because the manual transmission has to be in the place that's already at for everything to work. For everything to work properly. So I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to have to, like, one, I got to pull the manual transmission out and stuff. I got to mate all that together and stuff with, like I said earlier, 5-speed manual flywheel off of an LS. I think up to like 95 or something, and get the pilot bearing and stuff. I got to mate it all together with the transmission first, then get the transmission in there on the engine crane and figure out where the engine is going to be mounted to the frame, and then go from there, make an idea from there. Ask me anything. I'm perfect and know everything. I totally believe you, Monster Rest. I mean, you probably know more than I do. I won't lie on that. You probably do. You have a lot of awesome stuff on your channel. I have it literally in another tab ready to watch because I want to watch a new video of you rescuing that one car. I saw it in like my notifications. I don't know if it's an old video or a new video. I just want to see it. Yeah, dudes, I don't think he is on that level. Um, like I said, I can do bodywork all day long with my welder. I can do sheet metal. That's not a problem. My welder, though, is non-industrial welder to do steel plates to make engine mounts. If if I can find a local CNC guy, that'd be awesome. Make up some stuff, then go over to my buddy's welding place, get it welded up, and then bolt it on. I mount the '06 engine mount onto some bolted on thing onto the frame. That would be awesome. I would be happy. I would be happy as hell. And then I'm sticking the '06 rad into the thing, so I'm maybe fabricating the. I have an idea already for this of how to fabricate the rad cradle to fit in all the '06 rad stuff, and electric fans, big fans. So big rad, big fans. I'm excited. It's they have lots of cooling. It's they have no problem with that. Bodywork saves the cars, honestly. Yeah. So like, I don't really have any. I have very minimum bodywork left to do, to be fairly honest. Death Wheels respects no one. No. Engine plates can be made with a death wheel. Yeah, I believe that. Zip cutter, nut buster, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but solid mounts are not what he needs in his life. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't want this solid steel from steel to the engine. The '06 stuff has already rubber bushings and stuff in it, so there is movement for vibration. Because obviously, I want a nice ride. It's like I said, I'm not modifying this LS at all. I'm just keeping it at like the stock 300 horsepower. I am happy. I am more than happy with the 300 horsepower than going crazy. I have scars that back that up. Hey Schneider. Oh, hey Street Fox. I read your comment instead of your name. Hey Street Fox, welcome to the stream. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it was so. I'm just so tired from this weekend because I just worked. I put so much time into taking everything off of this donor truck because the complete harness and it's nuts. And then I have all the wiring diagrams for that entire truck for the harness on my computer to scroll through and go through and slowly see. But as far as I've seen, the easy way about going around one, the starter was already hot wired because someone killed the immobilizer in that truck. So I don't really have to worry about anything of that in the harness. I have the little blue wire that was wired into the starter. I just have to make sure the two orange wires always have constant power that go into the fuse box, and that all the pink wires, are my accessory, and the blue wire that I have wired up separately is my starter. So that, like, I'm not so worried on running the LS. Like, I can run it. Pink wires will get power, orange wires are constant power, and then I just have to have the starter. So that's not hard to have the LS run. I have not seen that much before. I'm confused. Waster bro, I got saved by an employee once. I almost got brained. Brained? What do you mean? Like you were cutting with the zip cutter, flywheel, grinder disc, whatever you want to call it, and went dunk. I have done that. I've hit myself in the face. I've hit myself in the head just by you're cutting. It catches something and just throws it back at you. Like I just did that for some fabrication at the bottom of the cab. I was cutting underneath the cab just to fix some metal, and it came flying back at me and hit me in the chest. And meanwhile, there's only like that much space. I was like, oh, I just turned it off for like a couple minutes and sat there. I was like, I need to sit for a second. And because it was a learning experience to take out this LS, we didn't do the front engine thing right away as we got the engine crane under there. So I crawled underneath there and unbolted the engine cross member on this truck, pulling the LS out. And I forgot the engine crane was there. So I knocked my head and I freaking out. He's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just need like 5-6 minutes because I just knocked all the sense out. Damn, yeah, I had one jump and caught my shirt wrapped up tight and shut it off. Yeah. Jesus Christ in my belly. Yeah, it sucks. I was doing the roof repair not that long ago, and I nicked myself a couple times on my hands. A little welder slag, put a whole little welder slag, hopped off and put in a thing. Nicked myself with the back of the grinder because I didn't even realize as I was grinding, I was holding it down. My finger there at the end was catching the backside of it. I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't even notice until after there's blood everywhere. I'm like, oh, what just happened? It's just scars of the trade. I'll say that much. Scars of the trade. In about 20 minutes here, I'm going to open up. I'm going to send the link saying anyone can join the live stream for the from 9 to 10 because I want the first hour to be like, this is what's happening. Little sneak peeks, you guys get first little tidbits of information that'll come in like 2-3 weeks to the channel because it takes a little bit with me being taking my journeyman school for me to edit videos, as well as I'm trying my best to make sure one video goes out a week. And if I have in the past done it where I posted all my videos in a week because I did it all that week, and then I didn't have anything for like 2 weeks because I was focusing on schooling or otherwise. So I try and make sure that one video goes out a week. I got scars on my belly too. Yeah, mechanics is not fun. This is the thing I look at and I go like, we all brag about this stuff, but I'm like, we're all bragging about hurting ourselves. Because you know what? I've cut the end of this finger off and had it sewn and had it stitched back on the very end of it. That was an experience that I had, and it was really weird the way how it healed. But I look back and I go like, am I really proud of that? Should I really be as proud as I am about that? About scars growing back weirdly. It's like I've never gotten a straight answer on the. Yeah, it's right there. I have a number 3 scar. It's a scar and number 3. I've never gotten a straight answer on how I got that because I have no memory of it. I've had my family tell me I grabbed an electric fence around the farm here for way too long and didn't let go. I've had it where people have said like I caught my hand in barbed wire. I fell off a tree. I got caught on a nail climbing something. I've had so many stories. Yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's just when with those. Yeah, in this trade, I find no matter what, you're gonna hurt yourself, and you can't be a little prissy princess. Because if you're like, oh, I don't want to break a nail, get out. Because no one, like, there is safety standards that you should follow. Like, I'm trying to be a little more vigilant on myself to be like, always wear safety glasses. I think I have like 30 to 40 pairs of safety glasses here, one in every toolbox. I try my best to be like, wear them because I want my eyes. I want my eyes in 40 years. I won't lie on that. I'm bad for doing welding. If I just want to tack weld something in, I'm actually really bad on putting on the helmet because I'm like, it's just a tack weld. Look away. Psh. Ooh, I see stars. But I am trying to be more diligent on not hurting myself, other than I should be wearing my mechanic, my little gloves when I'm doing my grinding. I used to be good on that. I haven't been good on that for the last little bit. But yeah, there's always scars. On top of the LS swap coming up for the 67, because like I said, I still got tons to figure out with that, like motor mounts and stuff. I have no problem with the motor running. No problems with that. That will be fine. I have some ideas on how to connect the motor with the transmission. Yes, AJ, I will be careful. You're the best girlfriend ever to be worried about my safety and support me on the YouTubes. But yeah, having the motor made up to the 4-speed Maurice transmission, where first gear is low gear, so it's a 3-speed with a low gear and a PTO. I know how that's thing made up pretty well, like, because there's lots of people have done it to the one without the PTO, I'm just going to do it to the one with the PTO. It's pretty much the same transmission that is in those old 67 to 72s, Blazers and 4x4s, because it's just, you knock it, but normally they would have a 3-speed with the first speed being low gear, so they'd have 2 speeds, and then higher up they'd have the sport 4-speed with first gear being granny gear. But most of the 1-ton trucks had that 4-speed, and that's what actually I took this transmission out of. And if it's not meant to be lost, you're only born worth one. What? If you're not meant to be lost, you're only born worth one. With one life. I think it's supposed to say with. I was thinking about going LS with a 5-speed in a 72, but I might stick with the straight 6. See, if I had a straight 6, I'd probably stick with the straight 6. Like if I had a running straight 6 in it, I really like the straight 6. I really want to get a truck here and throw a straight 6 in it, and it just be something I drive into town and back in. Because I just think that'd be, I don't know, I'm a sucker for those old straight 6. Like, because they're unkillable. Once you have them running and you have them running good, and like if you go through it and make sure it's clean and everything, nothing will kill that motor. That thing is just a torquey little bastard. What's that say about 10 fingers though? I have all 10 fingers. Well, actually, I have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. Give you a double thumbs up. I know some guys who can only give 1 thumbs up. So hitchhiking's a little bit of a problem for them. I love those old straight 6. You only need 1 finger and 1 thumb. Yeah, I guess so. So you can pinch, do those old nipple pinch and twists. I'm just Iron Duke in everything. Depends on what Iron Duke you're talking about. Like the old Pontiac Iron Dukes are the 4-bangers that were in pretty much everything. The G bodies, the J bodies, they were in the Fiero. The problem with the Fiero catching fire was because they had too small of an oil pan to fit the space because they were improperly adequate for the space. And they're like, you have to make this fit. And we're like, but then we need a smaller oil pan. And the problem is a lot of people would not do the maintenance exactly on time or check their oil. And it would burn oil. And then the engine would get too hot because it had no lubricant. It was just... But those old Fieros are Iron Dukes. Sorry, I'm a Pontiac nerd. I love all of that stuff. Okay, boys, I gotta do some work. If you're still on, I'll be back. No problem, man. Go and do some work. Go and get her done. Like I said, this entire weekend, I think I was jumping on and off stream. I think I jumped on Cletus stream as I was like doing work on the top of the cab. But I am going to open it up here. I am going to open it up here with the link so anyone can join. I got a 2.5 in my S10. Yeah, I can believe that. That's a lot of those S10s and those old Fords, those old small Ford Rangers were great motors. I gotta jump on screen here. Oh, we hit 111 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. I can't believe that. Oh, I need to post it, and then do this and pin it. Which means I'm gonna have to plug in my headphones if anyone joins. But there it goes. It's it should be pinned. Is it not pinned? Yeah, it's pinned. So if you guys want to join or anything, you are free to join the live stream. Like I said, the plan is to go till 10, depending on how the stream is going. It might go longer. 11 viewers. This is probably one of the bigger live streams we've had going in the last little bit. Because I know the first one, there was a couple people. And then the last one we got up to, I remember seeing the stats. At one time, we had like 15 people at once. Now we have 12. This is crazy. Surprise! I'm eating. My K10 has a bad transmission. That sucks. Like there's a video on my personal vlog channel, the Marcus Schneider channel, of bringing home the 67 1-ton green truck. The guy told me the motor should work in it and everything. He said it was turning over and everything. Once I got it home, and I had it sit for a month because obviously I couldn't get to it right away. I got to it and I noticed the heads were blown up on it. So he obviously lied about it not being working. And then when I took the cover off the transmission, I noticed the main ring gear inside the transmission um, was broken and had broken chips. And I was so upset. I was just like, no. So that transmission and that engine were shot on that truck. What's stopping you from joining, AJ? Nothing. There's the link. It's at the top of the chat there. Terry, yeah, you're K10. 70 10 spline to 205. Oh, you guys are asking engines and stuff. I know a lot of the stuff from those square bodies is very universal to the 67 to 72s. Are very universal with the square bodies. Like I'm pretty sure the front coilovers. I might be wrong in that suspension. My brain's confused. I've been working on so many different vehicles this weekend. I'm pretty sure they're the same. The front suspension on those old trucks and the back suspension are the same setup, just different rating. I'm not sure, dudes. But the good thing is with those trucks, they should still be fairly common. Like here, we have a guy who parts them out like crazy. Those square bodies. The transmissions shouldn't be too hard to get, or you just throw a turbo 350 in it like everyone else does. Oh, Monster Rust is here. I'll add him to stream. That means I got to put these on.
Howdy.
Neil, you're eating?
Always.
You're always eating.
Yeah, man.
Never stop.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, I feel like the closer I get to, I guess, or the older I get to, I just, my hunger rises with my age. I don't know.
You hungry. Just like Fast and Furious 2, you hungry. And more than just for food.
But what I was going to say is, yeah, man, hopefully this whole, pandemic thing passes, because I think I really want to try to go to like wasted talented shop and go work on a ride with dudes up in Iowa, and hopefully be able to go to like Canada and work with you on something. I just want to move around to try to collab and do a bunch of shit with different people,
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. I love traveling. I try and travel most of the time in the year. I normally have like 20 road trips planned a year. And this year, since the pandemic's hit, I've just done only a couple.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for me, I've only got to travel to Texas lately. I haven't been outside of Texas. I haven't been outside of Texas for a while.
Well, I know this year I've traveled over 2 provinces. Fortunately, but that was because my sister I had to help her get her vehicle and her animals over to a college because she's starting college. Terry, that really sucks. You bought it from a guy who ran the transmission dry and stuck and forth. That just sucks. That just sounds horrible. I didn't know that, dudes. That's good information though about the square bodies. So 69 to 82 ish. That makes a lot of sense.
What do you say?
That stuff works. Pardon?
Oh no, I'm looking at it. I don't know much about the square bodies either.
Nah, I love the square bodies. I have a guy who's pretty local to me. He parts them out. He just buys them and parts them out because his older brother builds a couple of them. So they just buy them for parts for themselves and then part out whatever else. He may sell it. No, you sell it. I want a square body. I love those square bodies. I just don't have money.
No, I mean, shoot, over here in Texas, like, dude, I know, like, if I was in the square body business, like, I would know where to get everything and all that stuff. Like, I know guys that have hordes of those square bodies, but those just don't do it for me. Like, they're cool.
Mechanics, the high slot boys.
They're cool, but it's just, to me, it's just, I love 60 through 66, and that's where For me, that's where I can win.
I love my 67 to 72s. I'm really stuck in loving those 67 to 72s. I want to
Hmm.
have one of every year and of every make, like the K20s and
Look
everything.
what
I
I
love them.
found. Look what I found. You might like this.
Oh, that is beautiful. A Suburban Aviance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't hear you. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Can't hear you. Hello. 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 Hello.
fix it. Load up my Wi-Fi. It says I have full Wi-Fi connection. I can see fine.
Cannot hear you. Can't hear you. All right. Well, here we go.
This should hopefully.
There you go. Now I can see you and hear you.
Yeah, okay. I just had to reset my face cam. Yeah, on my side it didn't show any problems. But that's a beautiful truck.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Like, see, I wish I could have that.
See,
Pretty local here had a guy selling a '68 panel van, I think, panel truck.
That's sick. Those panels are
A
cool.
lot of information in the comments. The country Wi-Fi strikes again. Yes, the country Wi-Fi sometimes
Gotta
plays
get on
back and
better
forth.
Wi-Fi. Yeah. I mean, shoot, you can always try to go get one of those mobile hotspots from a phone company too.
Yeah. No, it's just Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi costs so much. I'm actually on high speed internet here. We don't pay. I can't disclose information with my Wi-Fi.
I
My
got
father
you.
works for a Wi-Fi company, so
I hear you.
there's
I hear you.
there's
I hear
deals going on there.
you. Yeah.
I
I'll
bought it
tell
that
you.
way for $800. Terry, that's not bad. To buy a truck that only has a broken transmission for $800 isn't really that horrible.
No, because you
It's
can
not.
just go. You're basically getting another one, a full truck for what, $1,400.
No.
You gotta go get it rebuilt or go get a new one. But
Yeah.
yo, I did find this one, and I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know anything about these. I don't know if you know how rare these are.
I have no idea how rare they are.
Very, and the guy wants his asking price is very, very generous. Like pretty much stealing from him. I don't think he knows what he has.
Yeah.
But I can't, man. For me, it's space. I can't, and I'm tired of having vehicles everywhere. I'm sick of that, dude. Like, so
I feel that. Like,
I told myself I'm not buying another vehicle. I'm not buying another vehicle unless I finish one, or if somebody wants to trade me something, I'll trade. But I'm not buying anymore.
yeah. See, mine's a money problem. If I had more money, I'd buy more stuff. Um, but I understand that I don't want projects ends project. Like I sold a lot of vehicles this last summer,
Yeah,
just because I'm like looking at it, I'm sitting at it, and I'm like I'm not going to touch this in 20 years. I just know I'm not.
you got to be
So
able to
if
know what you can handle. Like,
yeah, well, and
you know,
the 67's been a fab job from the very start. I should have. I say this. I am happy with what I've done to that truck. The fact that it's got a 5-ton cab on it and everything else. But when I first bought it, I should have just put the original automatic transmission and stuff back into it and just got it running and going.
mm,
Um, which I know if I get any more vehicles, I'm probably going to do. But I've already gone so far with this truck and fabbing it. I'm just going to keep fabbing it. It's a learning experience and fun for me to just take the 67 and customize it.
the bourbon was not rusty at all, and
Yeah.
I only do flips. The way I work my flips is if I already have a buyer for it ahead of time. It's the only way I do it. I don't like to grab it, sit and wait, and then that's not how I work.
Well, yeah, you need land to do that. I have a little bit of land, so I don't care about flipping stuff, but it has to be a good enough deal where I know I can make a flip on it. Like
Yeah,
for sure, no matter what. If I got no buyer lined up or a buyer lined up, I need to know I can flip it. So I'm really cheap.
yeah. For me, I mean, you know, it's hard because I'm pretty sure you have friends like this. If they're like they see your rides and they want one, and they're like, well, should I buy this one? It's pretty good for 2, 3, 4,000. And it's like, dude, I got something just as nice like that a couple months ago for $500, bro. So
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
it's
and it just depends on how Like I tell people, because they always ask me, how do you find these deals? How do you do it? How do you do it? I say, well, the difference
you just
is,
don't stop looking.
yeah, the difference is for me, I'm consistently looking and doing this every day, not once a week, once a month, or every now and then. I'm doing this consistently. So yeah, I'm bound to find more deals than the average person.
Well,
But
it's also like my tactic. What I do is I drive down old dirt roads. I drive down the farmer because I
mhm,
live in a little bit of farmer country.
yeah,
I just drive down all the dirt roads. I just drive down everything. I see an old vehicle and stuff, and I prefer to be in one of my old vehicles when I'm doing this because people just have a little more respect with that.
mhm.
Pull up and be like, "Hey, are you want to get rid of that?" Like if I've been eyeballing it for a long time, I'd be like, "Do you want to get rid of that? I'll pay you scrap price. I'll take it out. You won't have to touch a finger. It'll be cash in your hand, and I'll be gone. You can have cash today."
Yeah, I did a whole video on it. I told people how I did it, and then I took them to me knocking on somebody's door and me approaching them. And dude, I bought the Cougar '68 Cougar for $200. The inside was mint. I
Yeah.
was like, the dash alone is worth like $700. I
Well,
was like,
and
dude,
it's best if you can talk to the old lady too, because the old lady will be like, "I just want it gone," and she'll nag the husband to be like, "He wants to buy it, get rid of it." Because at the end of the day, a lot of times money doesn't mean anything to people. So people, just the fact that they're getting something for it, they're happy. Because otherwise, it was just they sit there for another 50 years.
yeah, God, that Cougar's been off the road since, man, it was way before I was born. It was like, man, was it the '80s? I think 80 something.
Well, I know my 72 has been off the road since 2011. And I know the 67's been off the road for over 30 years. I'm pretty
Nice.
sure. But
Shit, longer than we've been alive.
yeah, well, no, the 72's been off since
No,
2011.
I'm saying the one that's 30 years.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's also like my brother's Bel Air, my brother's 60s Bel Air that I've had on the channel a couple times. That thing's been off the road since the 70s, I think. So
Mm.
that thing's been off the road forever.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go check this out. I was telling dudes, check this out. See what you think of this baby here.
Oh yeah, some 80s ish vehicle.
It's a Cutlass.
Oh, okay, it's a Cutlass.
Yeah, G bodies. I mean, man, I don't know. I don't know how it is over there. Over here, like these are really glorified up in the hood.
Yeah, it is sometimes here. There are a couple car cultures that it's like okay with me with my J bodies. I'm part of all the J body clubs.
I
I
can
love
see that
my
dent.
Cavalier Sunfire. With
That
that car,
dent.
The G bodies there's a pretty big. There are a lot of people who love them. They're growing in popularity right now because it's in that nostalgia age. So
Yeah.
there are people who are looking for those, and there are tons of them out there right now. Here, you can get one like safety, like road worthy for like $6,000. So there's tons of them.
I was like, yeah. I might get that. I'm gonna go
And
check it out.
there's
I was like, it's cool, but it's enough to where I'm comfortable with putting a little bit of
money into
money
it.
in. Yeah, it's
See,
nothing too crazy.
Well, and people don't realize up here in Canada, 90% of our body work is just rust repair. Our body shops aren't doing fancy stuff and all that majority of the time. They're just restoring rust most of the time. That's
For
so
me, I look. It depends on where the rust is and everything. It depends on where it is. If I'm gonna be able to find panels for it. Like, I had everybody attacking me about that Barracuda I just posted,
yeah.
like, on other sites and stuff. And they're like, well, look at what was it? Mopar Graveyard. They're like, they rescued one worse than that, and why didn't you do it? And just like, hold on, dude. Like, whoa. First of all, I looked up the prices on those panels.
Yeah.
I'm not paying
Mopar
that.
is not cheap.
I was like, I'm
Mopar
not.
it's
I was, and I know in reality, if I were to work on that thing, it would be nothing but a primered up roller. That's it. I'm not doing
yeah.
nothing else. That engine would be out. I'd clean the engine bay nice, paint it good, paint it, whatever. I might paint it just black, and then after that, I'd work on the body and then primer up the body. Make sure the floors are solid and get the fuck out of the get it. That's it. I'm done. And even at that time that would go into the body work and the time to
Well,
well,
the money.
it's just yeah, it's just how much am I gonna get back, and is
Well,
it
yeah.
worth it for me? And I don't even have a buy again. I don't have a buyer ahead. Like, and
Yeah.
luckily I have a higher clientele, but I know what they want. I know what they go for, and
Yeah.
that's not what they'll. That's not
No,
what.
I can completely agree with that. Like, I don't touch a lot of the Mopars. It's not because I don't want to. It's just the cost. Like for all my Chevy stuff, I can get a fender for like under $300 for a brand new hardened steel fender. I can get that easy, no problem, Canadian money. But for me to get Mopar stuff, that's just double the price, even the triple the price on some body panels. It's just because people go, it's Mopar, baby. Like it's crazy to think that people are. I understand it, that people love their niche car, but Mopar is almost to the point where it's like it's rare and valuable because the niche market makes it valuable because people are just so crazy about getting it, they can jack the prices up.
Well, and it's like I've been a part of. I mean, I'm gonna say I've been a part of one like high end build, and it was a '61 bubble top Impala, and dude, even at that, that's why when I tell people, I say I love Impalas, they're beautiful. I will never build one.
Yeah,
Like, I'll never build one. And if I were to build one, I would build one like the Cheech and Chong one. But if I built one like that, I would build it even more patina, even more rusty on the outside, and But that's how I would do it, and that's the only Impala I feel I would feel comfortable building because I see what these other guys do, and they're money and masters at it. And I'm just a young kid that enjoys this, and
wow,
I'm just
I
like,
agree with
yeah,
that.
I was just like, yeah, I couldn't do that. It's not in me, and I don't want to be the type to build trailer queens. I want to build something that, me, you, or anybody can hop in and let's go.
Well, and also it's like that's your personality. That's something you want to build. I don't want to build something someone else wants. I want to build something I want that I
Yeah.
want to enjoy. And I 100% agree with that. It's like, yes, AJ, you just saying my Cavalier is pretty. And hey, Shop Cat, sorry, chat's getting away a little bit on us because we're talking about interesting stuff. I 100% agree with that. You want to build something you want, and I'm the same way. I like old muscle cars and old trucks, and on top of that, I'm saving up my money because I want to get into 40s and 20s stuff because that stuff I really love
Woo!
and really interested in. Like because
Oh,
but that's money. That is big money to get into that stuff.
it's
Um
dog. I'm gonna tell you this, but it's like because I've worked on. Man, what have I worked on from the 20s? I think just the Roadster. That I didn't really work on it. I think all I did was piece it together, and then uh we had our guy weld everything together, which he did a
Yeah.
fucking beautiful job. Uh, but those things are cool and fun. I just, man, I just think the scariest thing is finding those things to where the body's complete. Because when you saw it, like when I saw it, I was just like, man, I don't think that we gonna be able to put this one together. Like it was
Yeah.
rotted. But yo,
Well,
that,
and they're wood frame originally too.
oh, those are wood frames.
Well, yeah,
I,
a lot of the old 20s cars and stuff, it has wood going along the channeling of the body. So that's all wood to hold the body together, and then there's wood inside the frame rails inside the C channel because your wood was your structure. Wood cheap, metal was just to reinforce it, and then you had pretty much your body had a wood frame in the
damn,
car to hold the frame together, and yeah, wood
I didn't
floors
know
as
that.
well.
Okay, I
So
knew about the wood floors. I didn't know about the frame though. That's crazy.
well, it is C channeled, but they would have wood inside it. Like I just started pulling apart when I was working with a local hot rod shop. Um, we were just pulling apart this 1930s Chevy uh, sedan car with a tumbler seat, and yeah, it has wood inside the frames and everything. And then we were being very careful as we were sandblasting it, not to ruin the wood on the inside, even though we're going to replace it with metal. Right now, that's the only thing keeping that thing structurally together. And a lot
Wow.
of times when you find those cars, it's just pure metal. Like the wood's all gone, and that's why you see like those old Ford Model Ts, why they're all falling over and like the door panels leaning in. It looks like thin metal because it was thin metal, but all the wood's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, because what we have is it's a 1928 Roadster,
Yeah,
Ford Roadster. But yeah, I mean, that's not my toy. That's my dad's. I think I don't know. I don't know if he made the frame but it's on a frame and everything, and it's a roller right now. But
yeah,
yeah, that thing I
yeah.
had no hope for when I was like when I first saw
There
it, I was like,
is so much work that goes into them. It is nuts. Like I won't lie, there is so much work that goes into those cars. And yeah, okay, Shopcat. Yeah, you're saying check out Mac Mechanics. He's another local guy to me. He's a really good guy, and he does some pretty cool stuff there. You got Cletus. He just said he's got the '97 Ram for sale.
yo,
Finally, took you long enough.
it did a good transformation, bro. Like that
Yeah.
inside cleaned up very well.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like I saw his little short of taking the sticker plus 10 horsepower to his sticker.
Hey,
That was awesome.
I was gonna comment. I was like, I hear the way you're breathing right here. It sounds like regret because he's like,
That car, man, that interior to that car. If any of you haven't checked out yet, stuff with Cletus Automotive, he's been showing on his live streams and stuff. I don't know if he has a lot of videos on it yet. He has a couple. He's been redoing this Ram, and just the interior on it was just ugly. It was just horrible, just gutted wire, stereo wire everywhere, and he just got to fix it up. Um, People are talking about and thing. Shopcat has a 63 F100. Those are pretty nice trucks. I want to do one. I just haven't found one in the nice price range in good condition enough for me to buy one because I like those old Fords as well. The I think it's the 68 to like the 73 Ford is like one of my favorite Ford trucks. I've been really wanting to get my hands on one. I've been working on one of my buddy's 73s here off and on again. And man, I just
"Why?
love the look of it. It just
I
looks
don't think it was on
beautiful.
mine. I think it was on yours, bro. I can look real quick. I don't have that many lives.
I don't know. There's always tons of lives.
It isn't. It is. I don't think it was mine, bro. Hold on, I'm looking. Nah, it wasn't that one.
Yeah.
Oh
You
hell.
know a guy mechanics. Hey, you know what? You know a guy, and if I ever have money, because I don't have money right now, I'm all for it. But that's my problem. I'm stupidly cheap. I don't like spending more than $600 on a starting project where it's at the starting stage where it needs all its work. whoever did one on October 11th, that might have been me.
I did October 7th, and that was the last one before the one we did it this Thursday. So last time was me on the 7th, bro, not me.
October 11th was me.
I could have
It
sworn it
was
was
the
you,
first.
Cletus, because I remember you
Well,
having two lives up. I remember you having your main one and the phone one, and then I remember you being in control. I
yeah,
could have sworn you were in control, bro.
yeah. No, I think Cletus had one later that night because he joined my live, and then I think he did his own because I did a live. I do a live every Monday now, from 8 to 10 is the plan.
Yeah, I was doing mine on Thursday, but Junker Clunker just swooped on in and said, "Fuck Monster Us, I'm taking Thursday." All
Yeah.
right, bro. It's all cool, bro.
Um. Oh, Shopcat, that's pretty good. 800 delivered. I love it when you can get guys here. I'll give you the money, and then they drop it off and take the money. Like it includes the delivery. I love doing deals like that where I don't have to ship it because it just I'm like, yeah, I'll put in a couple extra bucks to have it dropped off. But normally, how I do my deals is I find out about something, I get a truck and a trailer loaded up. I go over there, like I just want it, and I'll just be like, here's some cash. I'll take it right here, right now, with cash in your hand. Like that's just kind of how I do it. Um, but man, 3 speed, but the trans is MIA. Ah, that sucks. Wrong box, base model. You know what? I like those base models. I've always been a base model guy, even with the newer stuff. With my first car, which was like an '05 Sunfire, it had nothing. It had manual windows, and I love basic stuff because I'm a huge fan of manual windows, manual switches, manual stuffs, and I can use it no matter what. Screw a screen in my dash. I prefer to have manual linkage and everything. I'm weird like that. It gives me a hard on when I see something that's just it has manual windows. It'll work.
Oh, dude, yeah, this guy was telling me today. He's like, "Hey, you want to come check out this truck?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I see you're young." He's like, "I'm gonna let you know right now, it doesn't have this, this, and this." And then last thing he said is, "Oh yeah, and it doesn't have electric windows." He's like, "You gotta roll them up." And I was like, oh, okay. I responded with, "Oh, okay, I understand." But in my head, I was like, "Hell yeah, I love doing that rather than having to deal with a window regulator and fucking up on
Yeah,
you." And fuck that, dude. I prefer the rollies.
yeah. Like Mechanics just said, less stuff to break. When you have mechanical stuff, it's just I agree. It's less stuff to break, and then when you have base model, there's nothing on it. You have no options to fail. You have no options to take off your battery load. You just don't have anything there to fuck anything up
Yeah.
because you can be chasing down like especially in these new cars. If one option's not working, you could be chasing out a short in a wiring harness forever for days upon days just to find that stupid little ground that's wrong because like I just did a '06 Ford Focus. The headlights, the one side headlights weren't working. They were fully bright, and the other side was dim. Well, what was happening was the side that was fully bright, its ground wasn't working, so it was putting all the power through the lights and then back circuiting to the other side, and it was just forcing all the power through, and the other side was just overloading, so it didn't want to. It was so dim. I'm like, so the side that was working was the problem to the side that wasn't, and it's just you're then chase shorts forever in them.
A Y block. Yeah, I've never owned a Y block either, but I'm not a Ford guy.
I don't know what a wide block is. I know what a
They-
flathead is.
They're like that. They're in the shape of a Y.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I know what those are. Those are pretty neat. I do like the flathead Fords. That's been very popular here as of late. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it, and I think like I don't know, they're neat. They're really neat to look at. I just they're out of my ballpark. I don't really know anything about them. Distributors in the back like Chevy. Unlike the '70s Fords, I think the distributors in the front or the coil is. Oh, Monster Rust muted
Oh,
himself.
yeah. Now I'm messaging somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw the ambulance, so I'm telling them about it. which is a
Yeah.
very good deal. If I had the space, I would get it. I would want that just to build for me, honestly. But I told myself,
Hey man, sell some things. Buy some things,
nah,
sell some things.
nah. I already told myself. When I tell myself something, when I tell myself something, I'm pretty strict on myself. Like it's like, nah, no bullshit no more. Like stop fucking around. So that's why I said no more
Yeah.
buying, no more buying. Straight until you finish.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I need if I had more money, I'd buy more stuff and then I would rent space. Like this is the thing. It all comes down to money. If I had millions of dollars, I wouldn't care. I would just buy a field and fill it up. But I also don't want to be that guy who hoards vehicles and then it never gets anything done to them. I want I want these vehicles to live on and have a second life. So if someone can give that vehicle a second life, like I had one truck sitting here all summer long, I couldn't do anything with it. I was like, I'm not going to touch this for 20 years, which I was very devastated to. I sold it off to this young kid who's like, I had so many big plans and stuff, and he brought in a tow truck, so I knew he had money. He brought in a tow truck to get it out, a big 2-ton truck. So I was like, yeah, okay, I want to know what this guy does. Hello, legendary shotgun. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, Terry Speedshot. I've always been a Chevy guy. See, I am mostly GM and Chevy guy because that's mostly what I've owned and that's mostly what I know. But I like old cars. It's just the cost of them. I find Mopars are just so much more expensive. Fords are a niche kind of category. They're not so expensive. They're just not the easiest to find. And then I just every other car like AMC, there's not a lot of them. In my local town, there's an AMC Eagle that I would love to knock on the guy's door and buy. It's just I don't know a whole lot about the cars.
Oh man, AMC. I mean, I hear people say it. I have one, and it's been a nightmare just because I can't find that rear glass. So that's the only thing I'm missing off of it is the rear glass.
Yeah.
But but yeah, man, I would say shoot, just stick to what you know and where you feel comfortable because I mean, even at that, like I find Mopars, but sometimes it's Mopars people don't want. I find those Dart, those that first gen Dart, nobody likes those. Those are I find those for not thousands. I find those complete for hundreds of dollars,
Yeah. So yeah,
and
I would love those old little darts. I think they're
nobody
cool.
nobody wants them. I find them for $400, $500, $600 complete, and nobody wants them.
Yeah.
Nobody likes those.
Uh,
It's just that's what it is. And that's where I'm at. The state that I'm in. I'm pretty sure if I bought those and took them to California, I could sell them or flip them. But that's just how it is. It depends on what it is. Because
Depends on your local market.
I was thinking about getting that. I said, well, people love Mopars. I said maybe I should just buy a Dart for a couple $100. I'm finding them pretty often. But then I was talking to who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Classic Ride Society, and I was like, "Hey man," let's get this car and maybe we can work on it. Just do a little how will it run and stuff. And he told me straight up, "I fucking hate that car. I don't want nothing to do with it." He's like, "I don't want nothing to
See,
do with it." So it happens.
yeah. See, like, the main reason I actually do want to pick up this Eagle is actually because of
Diggs.
Junkyard Diggs. He did his AMC Eagle, and then I know where one is locally. I was like, you know what, that'd be a pretty cool car just to have some fun with. Um, and I do say this, like a lot of people go like, oh, that it's so much to get into a project and stuff. But I go, okay, how much do you spend money on any passion you have? You don't spend $500 at the strip club. Guess what? I spent $500 on a part. I spent $500 on a parts car to have some fun with. So
For me, it's like I do a lot of a lot of different thoughts go through it. It's like, well, what am I gonna do with this thing? How much am I willing to put in? If I'm stuck with it, will I be happy with it? And if I do want to get rid of it, how tough is it gonna be for me? So there's a lot of questions
yeah,
I ask myself, and it's just well, all right, it just all depends. But I mean,
see,
shit.
yeah,
I
I
go,
like to get stuff under like scrap price or around scrap price. That way, I go like, you know what? At the end of the day, if I have to get rid of it, I can scrap it, and have my fun with it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I love those Chevy C10, 60 through 66. That's my jam. That's
Yeah, 67 to 72 is I fully taken apart those trucks and fully put them together. I love them to bits. Same with my J bodies, my Cavalier and stuff. I love my Cavalier. I love Sunfires. I have taken those cars apart and together again my entire driving experience. So like there are vehicles that I just love and fall in love with.
Yeah, like I mean, from Canada, man, I'm really interested to drive one of those Arcadians. What is it,
Yeah,
60, 64, 65, somewhere around there?
it's a Chevy Nova with a different clip, as far as I know.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Because I mean, it looks like it, but I mean, it's different, but it looks clean.
yeah. Third gen Trans Am. Yeah, see, I want a second gen Trans Am. I understand you, Terry. The 70, is it third gen or seventh gen? I don't
Later,
know. The
James
79
Bond,
Trans Am is my favorite.
James Bond, Mr. Bond.
You should, Schneider, you should consider joining my 99-cent moderator program. What is that?
You gotta
I'm,
pay him. You gotta pay him 99 cents to work in your chat.
oh. No, see, I don't even have 99 cents to spend on myself to moderate the chat. What do you think? uh, oh, see you, Cletus. Thanks for joining.
No, he's saying later,
Oh
dudes,
no!
like
See,
dudes.
see you later, dudes. Dudes is
Yeah,
leaving. No, no, Terry's
yeah,
shop is leaving. I've
yeah.
I saw
Cletus, what are you doing, dog? Hop on, bro. You already done editing your fucking video. Get your ass on here.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dudes. Oh yeah. Dudes was the one that left. Okay. I see it at the top of the chat now. My brain was not focusing. It hopped in the chat. I saw a bunch of chat. I really appreciate everyone watching and stuff, and I really appreciate you guys contributing to the chat because it just adds to the conversation. Uh, later, guys. See you, mechanics. But yeah, like, I understand like where you've been looking for that backlash for that AMC forever. I just, I don't know. I just have a sore spot. I love some of those AMC cars. That the AMC Ramblers are really cool. I think a buddy of mine just picked up an AMC like wagon, which
Let me
looks
know
really.
if you can find the rear glass to a 67 Ambassador, bro. Please. I put it in one of my videos, and people tried to help. Nah, it didn't go down.
I'll let you know. Know what if I can spot something because sometimes
One
you
year
come across
only.
something.
1 year only. I just need that rear glass. At this point, I don't care what shape it's in, if it's all foggy or whatever. Just get it. I just need it. I'm so
Mm,
sick and tired of that damn glass.
you shouldn't. Oh, Shopcat used to have an '82 AMC Eagle. Yeah, it has it. AMC literally went to every company and went, "Hey, what's 10 years old and you don't want it anymore?" and took it and put it on through the stuff. Um,
It's crazy because I remember this is like when I just started like getting cool with my dad. Like, we've only been cool like a year and a half or whatever. And it was like right before the pandemic, and he goes, "Yeah, what are you up to?" I said, I'm about to go buy this AMC. He's like, "An AMC?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go buy an AMC, Ambassador 67 complete." I was like, it's got everything except the front windshield, the rear glass, and the driver glass. And he was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." I said, "Man, I don't give a fuck." Like, like I was all, I was like, I don't care. I
Young
just
Buck
bought the.
thinks he knows everything.
It's just, I mean, it's that, and it's like, at the same time, I was still like, fuck my dad. But we're cool, but fuck him. We're still like that. But it's just like, I was like, cool. I just got the rear glass. I mean, the front glass, the windshield, a couple months ago. I ordered the vent glass for the driver's door, and it was the wrong vent glass. And I'm still looking for that rear. So I'll be real with you. I got it for 1,500. Everything was there, no problems. Clean interior, clean. But man, oh man, and I was like, why did I get this so cheap? It's all there, beautiful paint job. Like,
Yeah.
why? Now I know.
Yeah. See, that's my thing. Like, I do have a couple contacts when I have stuff I can't find. I'm very fortunate enough where I have now developed contacts where I can find stuff that nobody else can. But I've been telling people because sometimes people come up to me and be like, "Hey, can you find this?" I'm like, "Are you gonna buy it if I find it?" Because I don't want to. I don't want to bug my contacts and waste their time finding something that's not going to be bought. And because I've done that for a couple of things. For like, I have a glass guy who even makes glass, and it's just it like there's a lot of stuff my brother was bugging about the glass, and then he found out how expensive it is, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." I'm like, "But are you going to find it anywhere else?"
It's just yeah, and that's the thing. There's sometimes you can't sleep, and that's what I tell everybody when it comes to this shit. Like, yo, if there's a part that you're in dire need for, and you find it and it's expensive, but you've been having trouble looking for it. Yo, don't always be thinking cheap. Be like, yo, am I gonna find it again? And I think in this hobby, we all know what it's like to have be running around for something so simple. It could be a K member or fender or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, like, you know but
Well,
for
that's
sure.
I don't want to waste my guys' time. Like the guys I have in contact with, like if I ask them, "Hey, can you find this for me?" They find it for me. I buy it because it's
But
just like you spend time finding it. I need to do you good. So the next time I ask you to find something, you'll find it.
well,
Um,
for me, that's why. I mean, people ask me, what do you do for a living? I say, well, I sell parts and I'm a car hunter. That's what I do. I don't. And they say, okay, cool. Well, can you find me this car? I tell them, yeah, once you pay the deposit. And I tell them, I break it down to them. I tell them, yo, you want me to find this car for you? I'll, you got to pay me half. And then they'll be like, okay. And I'll be like, then from today till this date, and I give them ample time. They get a good 6 months out of me looking for it. And it's like, hey, if I find it, you're going to be the first person I contact. Now, if you just say, "Oh, I don't want to pay," all right, cool. And I just so happen to find the car you're looking for, and I put it out there, and Schneider Classics or somebody hits me up and says, "Hey, I want it," and it's a car that they wanted. Well, you should have put that deposit with me to lock it down, so you could have been the first one. And
yeah,
you're not. Schneider came to me first, and he got it, so it's his.
yeah. First come, first serve, cash in hand.
And that's what
I'm
I did. And that's how I work it with these people. I haven't had too many deals where uh clientele's like sending me out here and there and stuff. I've got to do it a few times like that. And
yeah,
I mean, I've kicked ass every time so far. And
yeah,
I mean, it's just, and I tell them, it's my time, it's my gas, and it's my find. I did this,
yeah.
like I'm putting
Yeah.
in that extra effort, like
No,
if
I
you're really
understand that.
serious, yeah, and I tell them, if you're really serious, I don't do that finder's fee bullshit. Don't. That has nothing to do with me, because if I say, hey, you know what, Schneider Classics has a 67, okay, cool, and then they tell me, well, if I uh if I buy it from him, I'll pay you a finder's fee. It's like, no, motherfucker, that's not how I'm gonna do it, because you and Schneider Classics can be talking, and Schneider Classics can say, "Oh well, for this truck, I want $8,000." Oh, 8,000. Oh, that's out of my price range. Never mind. Sorry,
Yeah,
Monster Russ. You found me the vehicle and everything, but you're shit out of luck. Thank you for wasting your time, your
yeah,
money, and your breath. Ah, fuck
yeah.
you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And yeah, welcome Wasted Talent and Fabrications back to the stream. If you want to join it's just I got it pinned there. If you want to join in,
Yeah, I
um,
don't know why Cletus isn't on. He ain't doing shit, dude. I guarantee you, he's sitting on the
he's
couch.
hyping up the chat. He's keeping the chat going.
He's
Um,
hyping me up. Get the fuck off the couch. Give me your little office and fucking let's go.
um, no, I agree with this. Like when people ask me to find something and stuff, I'll pull it up there. I'm like, but you got to be serious about buying this if I'm going to contact this guy, because like I'm not. I don't want to waste people's times. It really comes down to I don't want to waste this guy's time. I don't want to waste my time. You got to be serious on the balls
Fucking
to get this.
dreamers. Dude, that's what it is, and that's what I tell everybody. Yo, there's doers and there's dreamers. I've like those fucking guys, and you know what I'm talking about. Hey,
Yeah.
you selling this truck? No, I'm gonna work on it one day, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You're dreaming.
Well,
You're never gonna do shit. And I,
let,
and I, dude, I find them all day. I find them every day, every day.
Yeah.
Not every now and then. I literally find one a day that tells me that.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was working at this hot rod shop. I'm not going to disclose the name just for personal
Yeah.
reasons. Um, but this guy came up and he was like, he's a real estate agent. He's like, hey, I have this 1920s car. I want you to fully restore it for $20,000. And we told him, no, screw off. This is $150,000 job. We can't do it for that. We can't do it for 20,000. Not even for
No,
ourselves.
that's
Like
that's just what that's not body work. That's just paint and primer.
bodywork, paint, primer, the re-put structure in the frame to make sure, because those are all wood frame cars, just to reshape it and make sure it runs and functions, and they get all the hardware and they get the brakes working. It's just so much work on those cars and stuff. And like, I love them. I want to get into them because I have a personal passion for them. But there are a lot of people out there who'd be like, I want this car restored. And I go like, okay, that's $60,000. And they go, what? I go, because there's just so much that goes into it that people don't realize.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, shoot, like for me, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm a fucking badass welder or anything, but I had what was it? I want to say it was like a early '50s Jeep CJ, torn apart, like bodies over here, fenders over there. It's all tailgates over here. It's all torn apart. Like it's, you know. So I was like, shit. Okay, let's see what we can try to do. So the owner was like, he finally was like, yeah, I'm ready to pay up. So he paid. Boom, I got to going and stuff. And I told him like, yo, I'm not top dog at this. I'm not gonna give you anything beautiful, but I'll make it to where you can drive it down the road. And I let them understand that and know that. And so I'm not trying to give them their expectations way up here. I just let them know honestly what it is. It's like, hey, like, you're gonna be able to see the welds. You're gonna be able to, I'm not
Yeah.
going all the way 100 on this. Like, I'm just trying to piece it together. And I like working with the people that are comfortable with that. And it wasn't. I didn't charge him a crazy grip of money to do it. I think for me to put it all together and drop it in, I think it was just like what, 5 grand.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and that's frame, that's a body, that's painting it, primer, and it's just like people got to know, understand both, like the other side of it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I 100% with that. Like, I agree. Like, when I say, I don't say I'm really professional at anything. When people go like, what do you do in the car world? I say I'm a personality, because I can do sheet metal welding, but I can't do frame welding. I can't do plating. I can, like, that stuff is just out of my league. And I'm an all right welder. Guys, I show my work when guys ask me. I have a lot more guys who be like, oh, you're a good welder. And I go like, I pity myself. I'm like, oh, this is where I could do better, and this is where I could do better.
Yeah.
Um, but I tell a lot of guys like I'm a personality, and I show my work. I'm very transparent. That's a part of being on YouTube here. I'm transparent with what I'm doing, as well as being on Instagram and stuff, where I post my projects. I post what's going on. I show my progress of a project. I try and show where I started and where I ended for the day,
Yeah.
because I want people to know, hey, look, I'm not just some fuck you guy saying like, oh, I'll do it and then do a shitty job. I'm going to show you everything I've done, the dirty, the nasty, because guess what? The middle of a job isn't pretty. You can start off
Mm-mm.
with something pretty, get into it, it looks ugly, and then finish gorgeous. And a lot of people just don't realize that the middle of a job is the ugliest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I always refer back, like, yeah, I show people, yo, like, I refer them back to that 61 bubble top, just because, like, man, like that right there, that was just something I was just, I was just like, man, it's scary touching that thing and knowing the money and everything that goes into that car. And I was just like, man, like, and luckily, me and the other channel, World Street, the homie, Slim, he he did the trunk on that thing. I think me and him did like I did half the body work, he did half the body work, and then I primered a bit, he primered a bit, and then I mean, shit, it was just like, yo, from what that car was to what it ended up being, I mean, it was just, wow. Like I was even surprised. Like, damn, it was a
Oh
big
yeah.
180.
There are tons of people out there who are super specialized in their trade and they do wonderful, beautiful work. Like it is crazy to just for like when someone just specializes in something 100%.
That's it
It
right
is,
there.
yeah, that's a beautiful car. Um, but there's a guy called the metal magician, MM, metal magician in my area. He when he touches metal and stuff, he's just gorgeous at it. It's only like, to be fairly honest, he lacks some knowledge and other stuff. But when it comes to metal and sheet metal, he's the guy to go to because he just knows everything there is to do it. And there's a paint guy near me and stuff. And like when you have a guy who just does one thing forever, like
They
80 hours
mastered
a
it.
day, they're a master at it.
Yeah. You can see the transformation here. It definitely was a challenge. So that's it at the beginning.
Yeah. No, I believe it. Some cars are just, and when you tear them apart, it's an ugly sight to see it all ripped apart because,
Yep, look at that. It looks ugly as
yeah,
hell. But you gotta put in that time, that effort, see it transform, see it work, see it go through the progress, and it's not gonna be something beautiful in a day or two. Like, you
no,
gotta chip it away every day, every day, every day, and you know, it'll get there slowly but surely. But I mean, it transforms. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that you gotta have that eye, and you gotta know.
yeah. AJ, or rather jack of all trades than a master of one. Well, there is saying of where if someone does one thing forever and stuff, they become a super master. I do agree. Like where I'm a jack of all trades, and the full saying is jack of all trades, master of none is way better than master of one. The reason for that is because if you can't do something, well, you can't do something. A jack of all trades, you can go out and do whatever. Where someone who's niche, but there is in today's world, it is good to be specialized in a certain niche and a certain thing because then you become that go-to where everyone goes to you and does that, and then you can spend money on other people to do other things that they're good at.
I just tell people I know a little bit about a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Cletus, stop showing off, bro. Contribute to the fucking chat or come jump in here. Show off. Fuck, dude. Like, we
no,
get it. You're a superstar.
Cletus, you are a superstar, my little superstar baby.
You're your
No,
drinking buddy. Your drinking buddy.
yeah, drinking buddy get way too drunk on stream together. I still haven't touched a drop since. But Cletus, congratulations on that. That's really awesome. Like, no, man, I won't lie. I'm a little jealous. We're working there. We've gained a couple subscribers during the stream today. I noticed we've gone up like 3 subscribers today with just the stream, and
I
I'm really
almost bought
happy with that.
almost bought this today.
Oh my god, what redneck MacGyvery is that?
1500 with a roof delete, and then
A roof
after
delete, door seam
after
delete.
aftermarket roof. I can't believe people want to watch my trash content.
No,
I,
Cletus, you got good content. They want to see what you're doing. You're doing some awesome stuff. Like, I won't lie, that transformation on
they're
that
all
ram.
they're all pity views. I feel bad for this guy. Click.
Well, then where they are for me, I'm not that good at stuff.
No, we have faith in you.
Oh, you have too much faith in me. No. But I'm
No,
young.
that I'll tell you this, that the inside of that thing really did clean up. The main thing I was thinking is, man, what's he gonna do with that dash? He got the dash going. The door panels were cool. Shoot, I mean, even some of those spots he was missing little covers on things. I think for the fuses and for like the pocket of the door thing. But I mean, that's minor stuff. But even
Yeah.
at that, he could fill that in with something.
No, I believe like Cleus has a plan there, and that truck is looking way better than what he got it as.
I think
Uh,
he's done with it, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, YouTube world and real time world sometimes conflict. This is why I tell people if you want to keep most up to date, watch the live streams and look at my Instagram because those are the stuff that's kept up to date. The videos are about 2 to 3 weeks behind in real life, just because life. Um, and yeah, Shopcat. I'm always amazed by how many people watch my channel. I won't lie, I am amazed when I load up stats and I go and someone's like, I see 20 hours watched in a day, which is Mondays, like pretty much is 20 hours and stuff for just the starting channel. And I'm like, holy shoot, that's amazing. The fact that I'm able to get like 50 views a day just on the videos and trickling. I can see it on each little video. I'm like, whoa, like, it just amazes me. It lights up my brain and I go like, oh, you guys are so amazing. Like whoever's watching this, like I just feel so heartwarmed and just oh, I just can't believe it because I go like someone enjoys watching this.
Honestly, that's good, Cletus, and definitely like somebody's gonna want to pick that up for a work truck, bro. And for a work truck, I mean, you people want to spend at least 1,000 to 1,005.
Yeah. See, Cletus, I almost want to. I kind of want the truck. I just don't have the money for it or the fact to get it up here. I would have to
Uh,
change so much stuff just for regulation and law.
Hey, Schneider, I was gonna ask you, did you get to check out my interview? I know you jumped on for a little bit, right, with the
Yeah.
girls. What was your thoughts on it? What did you think?
Uh, I think it was good. I won't lie. I didn't watch a whole lot of it.
Uh huh.
Um, I did watch a bit of it and jump through and stuff, and I saw like it was very. You guys were very good together, and you guys were a lot of conversation was happening. It wasn't just like a statement like "What is this? What is that?" It's just like there's natural flow to it, which is really good. Not a lot of people can do that, and so the fact that you guys were all able to just pitch into one another and have a natural flowing conversation, it seemed
Yeah.
more like an entertainment seemed more like a group hang, which is I think is more beneficial than just a so what did you do on this date and whatever in this thing? Like
I'll tell you, boy, I'm good with that. Now with conversation, it's you know what I mean. It's there. I mean, look at us, bro. We're talking about all this jibber jabber on all these different rides and stuff, but it's
it,
good. It's going back and forth, both of us. It's like you ask me something, I got you, and I'm getting the same thing from you. It's not like so Schneider. Why am I not seeing your videos? Well, they're you could just say, well, it's about I'm a month ahead on them,
yeah.
and then oh okay, like next
Well,
time should get better
yeah, I 100% agree. Like
for
really what it
sure,
is for these lives and when you're bringing in people and people are jumping in stuff, you need to have some form of natural flow, and you need to have, I won't lie, it kind of adds to a certain personality. Not everyone can do this. You need to have a personality where you can add to a conversation, you can uh, motivate people, and also where you can bring in chat a little bit because obviously you guys are amazing. Everyone who's watching this, you guys are really what makes this happen. And it's just I don't know. I get super smiley and shiny and like, oh, this is like, ooh, pretty lights.
I look, I'm not gonna say who, but I saw somebody with a 3 hour live and they had no live comments and the video itself had 2 views
Yeah.
for
Well,
3 hours.
this is my thing mainly with the views. Even if there is nobody watching, like I said, for the first hour, I always have something planned. I have something kind of written out on the side here that I want to talk about, that I want to give a little update on what's happening in the background. So, like, I think that's a key point with certain my lives. I won't lie. I see this as very successful. It's a small start for a small channel,
For
but
sure.
it's not lackluster. It's never any ever dead silence. There's always something being conversated about.
Yeah, no doubt. And then for me, it's a little different because I take mine down. But if you leave yours up, it's like, oh, cool. You never know if you're gonna touch upon something that somebody's interested in, or if somebody's like, I want to see like, well, what's up with this and Schneider Classics or blah blah blah. So you never know what information you might be filling into somebody that does want to know. You don't know that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like they say, strangers are what make you successful, and
networking.
for sure. And you never know. Somebody might say, "Hey, you know what? Schneider's looking for this. I actually have that. Let me see on the next one." I'll let, "Hey, I saw this." And has anybody sent you anything yet?
No, no one sent me anything, but I haven't really. I don't have my PO box out there.
Mm.
But no, actually, well, okay, that's a lie. 615, kind of the guy who got me all into this. 615 Customs is a great guy, great channel. Me and him at the very start sent each other stickers, and that's kind of how I got into the game with all of you guys and started talking and conversating with all of you. It was really him, so I have to owe him homage. Thanks for that. And he's the only one who's sent me anything. I'm still waiting on my sticker order to come. It's supposed to come this week. It's supposed to come today, but they had to do some last finalization on what I wanted, and I should be having stickers go out in the next week or two. To
I'm gonna wait a bit. I think when I hit my 1,000, I'll probably do some giveaways just to say thank you to all the sluts.
yeah. Well, see, my thing is, I love giving things away, especially when someone receives something. They go like, "Oh, it's like so amazing!" And also this to see something, someone have something. I come from a very giving family, and a lot of people around me give me a lot of things, and so I want to keep that giving.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
it's I don't know. To me, it's just I've always been given things, and I've always really appreciated that, and so I want to appreciate being able to give
Yeah, you
back
you,
because
you what is it? You pass it forward.
yeah, pass it forward, um, and pay it forward. Yeah, um, and that's the thing too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's happened to me a couple times when I'm eating and like they're like, this person just paid for your food, and I'm like, thanks, you
and
know.
you
And
you pay for the next guy in line, um, if you
well,
can.
I was gonna say, it's funny because I remember I looked back and nobody was in back of me, and I was just like, oh well. Yeah, I told the lady thank you, and she was like, just pay it forward. And I looked back and I was like, there was nobody in back of me, but yeah, and I've done that a few times. Like I've been in the drive-through. What are they
Yeah.
getting? I'd like to,
Well,
you know.
the main reason I am so grateful with everything and stuff, I've had times in my life where I couldn't really eat, especially like where I would travel for some event or anything. I didn't eat the whole event because I just couldn't afford it. And so the fact that I remember people who just talking with me and stuff, they go, "You're a bright young man" and stuff. Hey, I'd like to buy you a meal and stuff. I'm like, "Hey, sorry, I don't really want to accept this or anything." Like, I feel really ashamed, and but they're like, "Don't worry about it, and just pay it forward in your future." And so it's just the fact that I'm able to eat now and I'm able to eat and everything and share this. I just want to share as much as I can. Even whatever little bit I have, I want to share it because I'm just so grateful for the people in my past and the people in my life. Even everyone who watches these videos, I am very grateful for the fact that you have given me something I didn't previously have.
For
In case
sure.
of YouTube, you guys are giving me a voice, you guys are giving me an audience, and I'm really grateful for that. And it I can't I can't thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Since
what I was thinking, because I don't think I'm too far from getting. Hopefully, the goal is to hopefully get 1,000 before December, so I can kind of do a Christmas giveaway slash hundred. I mean,
well,
1,000 subscriber giveaway.
I know I have the 1,000 subscriber giveaway planned out for this toolbox that I have behind me, full of little goodies and stuff. I am thinking, depending with Christmas coming up and stuff, because I Christmas is coming up, I am thinking about maybe doing a 500 subscriber giveaway just with like a little tool set or something. I've been thinking about it. I really want to do it, but it's got to make sense on the numbers end.
I'll answer, bro. I ain't got no fucking tools. I'll be telling CP, I'm like, man, I need to send him. I just need like I will show everybody my toolbox and what I'm working with. I think everybody, because they see me in shops, they see me doing this and that, and they see all the cars. But I just want to show everybody, yo, I'm just a fucking kid that has a little hand-me-down toolbox
Yeah.
from, you know what I mean. So it's just like,
Well, my thing is my father and stuff. He did tinker in mechanics, but he was a mechanic,
mm,
and like so I had to learn a lot of stuff on my own, and I have to gather all of this stuff on my own, starting anew. And I'm very grateful my parents have set me up in life to be better than them, and now I have to go and take this forward to compete with people who, yeah, like my brother-in-law and stuff. He's been he's born into a shop. He's born into a trucker family, so they have a shop and tools and everything right out the get go. And so I understand I have to compete with that type of stuff, but really it just means I'm more eager because I've had to start from even less, and now I'm even trying to push further past.
and I tell
So
people like, because I've had people who are like, yo, can I swing by, borrow the lift? Can I do that? Yo, you have this and that. And it's just like, yo, I'll be real with you. I've seen some people who do backyard builds like, golly, you would think that they were working in a shop. And it's just it's all it's all depending on you. How bad do you want it? It's like Wasted Talent said. He said, I prefer seats that are heated, that are heated seats. It's like, cool, you know what? If he really wants that and he were to get a 1950s or 60s car and he wants that, he can have that luxury and do it if he can get it done. But it's like, you have people who are, you have people that are dreamers and you have people that are doers. And you just got
Yeah,
to decide which one are you going to be, Are you going to be like, these guys that have hundreds of cars and none of them are running? Or are you going to be a guy who has three or four cars, but they're all running? And it's
yeah.
just, there's a difference in all that shit. You know what I mean? And
Well,
so,
and this is my thing. I want to build as many cars as I can and get them to be runners, but I understand I'm not going to keep them all. For me to have this dream to where I build something, fix it, and get it going, and be like, oh look, like because it's exciting for me to get something
yeah.
done. But it's just I go if I want to keep doing this, I can't keep it.
I mean, it's hard, I mean, I look at my pops. My pops got like 50 rides, and I'm not gonna say all of them run, but all like he's got a good chunk that run, and it's just like, damn, like but I wanna be like that, but I want all my shit running.
Yeah,
And it's like you gotta be. I mean, that's why I'm trying to be strict on myself. I want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I need to chill out and focus on what I have. Because if not, I'm gonna end up like those guys that I'm talking about, saying I have all these that don't run. And it's cool if you leave them and they just need a little gas. That's understandable. But I'm talking about that are destroyed. Like,
yeah.
then that's the difference. And I don't
They're
want to be
they're
like that.
worst off than the field you dragged them out of.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to be that person. I want to save these things, not hurt them. And I ask myself, hey, can I do this? Will I be able to progress? Is this going to help me or is this going to hurt me?
Yeah.
Am I going to help the vehicle or am I going to hurt the vehicle? So it's a lot of little questions that I ask myself when it comes to all this. But
No, and I 100% agree with that. Like, I don't want, like I said, I had to sell some vehicles because I looked at them and I'm not going to touch these for a long time. If someone else can touch it, and this is the thing, if someone else leaves it in their yard, I can't do nothing about that. But I don't
mhm.
want to leave it in my yard. I don't want to leave it there sitting there for 20 years. I want to touch it, and if I'm not touching it, it needs to go. And I'm the same way with anything in my home. There's a lot of things that like I've gotten rid of from my childhood, and my family's always been like, "Oh, don't you have attachments to this? Don't you have memories?" I'm like, "Some stuff I do, but majority of the
The-
stuff here and stuff, I want to live a very minimalistic life. I don't, if it's not useful to me, if I don't touch it in 3 years, I got to get rid of it.
had the opportunity to get this, and I'm pretty sure when I show you this car, you've been like, hell yeah, I would love to have that too. But the reality is, how long is it going to take for me to get this thing nice? How much money is it going to take for me to get this thing nice? Am I willing to put everything else on hold for this car? No, I'm not. Did I do a good job on passing on it and letting my friend get it? Yes, I did. Now I'm gonna show you this car and you tell me what you think.
Oh, that's a beautiful car.
It's
That's a
Christine.
beautiful car. But yeah, no, if you can't, if you weren't
Yeah, dude.
want to
No,
put in the
hell
time,
no. I
yeah,
wouldn't.
pass.
I will. Bro. I get that car. It's sitting. There's no way. It's Mopar. I have no parts for it.
Yeah,
It's gonna take up all my time. No, thank you. Not for me, man. Not for me. I stick to what I know. C10, 60 through 66, and that's
yeah.
where I'm comfortable at.
Well,
I just
I like the stick in the 67, the 67 to 72, but I won't lie. If I can get my hands on something, I will probably play with it. Um,
it just depends, man. I know what that car is. I know what it's worth. I know all that stuff. And it's like, yo, who's somebody I know that has the time, that has the money, and that has zero projects at the moment? I said,
yeah,
yo, called up my buddy. I said, hey, I got a deal for you, buddy, but you're gonna have to pay me for this one. He said, all right, what is it? Sent him a photo. He said, how much? Told him, boom. He said, I'm on my way to get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he
and
went
that's
and
the
he got
thing.
it.
Like my brother, I won't lie, my brother-in-law. I always just say my brother because I've known him since I was super young, and then for him to be with my sister is amazing. My brother, they're like, I won't lie, he has so many goddamn cars that he just doesn't have enough time to touch. He has the '60s Bel Air. He has this '95 Honda Civic that it's been modified the heck, and he's planning on modifying it further. He owns a '90s Dodge with the 12 valve Cummins in it.
Mm.
He has like three GMC '90s trucks. He just owns so much, and he's picking up this '80s Buick over the weekend. He gets good deals on this stuff. I won't lie, he gets really good deals. But the problem is, so he keeps buying these things, so none of the money's going to actually fixing these things
Yeah,
up.
yeah, and that's the thing. And I tell people, it's cool if you have a plane hanger, something with cement. Buy as many as you can. Cool, that's cool. I get that because all at that point, it's all you got to really worry about is dust and then
Yeah.
rodents or something. Which that's an easy problem to solve. But it's like right now, I'm stressing about this thing because I'm trying to figure. I was just asking dudes, yo, what should I do with this? And I have this 62 right here that I'm
Oh,
I'm really wanting to build. I got a new roof for it, and I have a new hood. Floor needs work, but other than that, it'll be good. And I was like, damn, like what do I do with this? And for me, it's the only vehicle my dad's given me. Like,
yeah.
so I was like, I really do want to build this one. Like, cause like, if he croaks, if he dies, dude, I'm probably not getting shit. Like nothing. Like out of all his, dude, he's gonna give like all his little girlfriends, kids, cars. He ain't gonna give me shit. So I just want the one thing he did give me. I really do want to build it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out which route should I go with this, and I haven't really figured it out yet. Hopefully I can just really brainstorm with somebody. Because what do I have for that? I have a 305 for it. I was like, I could
Yeah.
throw the 305 in it for the time being, just have it a little runner driver. But the real direction I want to go in it, I haven't even thought of. But right now I'm
Well,
trying to finish the Jeep. I'm trying to finish the 63 C30, and then we'll see what else I have in between that. And for the time being, I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna do with
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it in here. I'm just probably going to have the stream go for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to probably head her for the night just because I have to do stuff for my journeyman level 2 in the morning. Um, but like, so I'm just going to say in 15 minutes, the stream's going to probably end at 10:15.
Where's the after party?
If anyone wants to have the next stream, I'm more than welcome to tell people
It's
to go
been
check them out.
Cletus. It's been Cletus that's had the after party, right?
Normally, I won't lie, Cletus very much. Every time I've done these live streams, Cletus has jumped on and uh, done a little bit on his end
Nah,
afterwards.
as you've noticed, the more his subscriber count's been going up, he's been backing off a bit, bro. He's getting too big for us. He said I'm gonna get away from these guys for a bit.
Well, and no, to each their own. If you have time for things, really, it comes on the time. You have to time manage yourself and be like, what's a good trade off? If this stuff is not a very good trade off for me, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Um, well, it was like CP's been talking a lot about that on his streams. No, like if the chat hypes up and the chat keeps going, well, you have to then keep the stream going. But if the chat's slowly dying and such, well, then yeah, it all depends on what's there and what's the return on it.
I hear you. For sure. Actually, what time is it over here? It's already 10.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock right now, and
Oh,
that's why I'm saying 50 minutes. I'm calling it a night, shutting her down because I need to get some shut eye.
I needed to go to the gas station actually. I needed to go. No, I wanted to put gas. I came home and I'm like, what? My car's on E, and I was like, man.
I may grab gas tomorrow, but then what I'm really excited for is one of my buddies from two provinces over is in town for the day. They go have some lunch with him because like I haven't seen this guy in like 3 years. I'm
Oh,
super psyched to see him.
oh, there you go, right there. Yeah, man. Tell him to to check out your videos, see what you've been up
He
to.
does. I see my analytics. It goes, oh, someone's been watching my videos by the TV, and he sends me Snapchats occasionally. He's like, he sits down with his grandfather and watches my videos on the TV on the
Oh,
smart TV.
that's cool.
And like, he's always so supportive, and he's always been an amazing guy. He was when I first moved out at 15, he was the guy I was living with. He was one of the guys I was living with, and it was just amazing. He's one of those good down the earth guys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, brother. I guess I'll let you finish out. I'm gonna go put gas and everything, and then if somebody gets on, maybe I'll jump on.
Yeah, for sure. If anyone wants to do a live after me, 100%. If you want to do it, let me know, and I'll tell people go over there next. I really appreciate Monster Rush jumping on there. He was he was amazing to keep the conversation live, even later than I was expecting to. Yes, AJ, it's late. I feel that. I feel it. But like I said before at the beginning of the stream, over this winter is going to be a lot of figuring it out and a lot of fabrication and a lot of playing to get this LS into the 67 truck. It's just I have to figure out some way to mount up those motor mounts. I cut off a little bit. I was saying I appreciate it. Like I said, Monster Rush, I really appreciate you jumping on. It was good to have you on the stream, and really, like, thank you for carrying on the conversation, because sometimes, especially like when it starts getting this late, I've been on stream for 2 hours, my brain's starting to shut off, and it's starting to be like, okay, you're tired now. And also, I've just started, my YouTube channel is still fairly new, and live streaming is very new to me. So me speaking for over a couple hours is something that wears out my throat a little bit. Night Monster Schneider chat, folks. Only 9 here, so I'm gonna go work on my chicken coop. I don't know if he's making fun of me in that, Shopcat. I don't know if you're making fun of me, because in the winter, I've worked on my chicken coop. Worked in the chicken coop for all the sleds. So I don't know if that's a nod to me or you're seriously working on your chicken coop. Probably this winter I'm going to be working inside my chicken coop as well a lot. But I'm planning this summer to get over to my brother's shop. I'm going to rent a little bit of space out of my brother's shop and get this LS swap done inside a nice, warm, toasty building where I can rest my butt wherever I want and sleep in my cot. And nice, it has a wood stove. It's a nice, fully built shop. It just doesn't have a hoist, but that's fine. I don't care about that. Just be nice to work inside and not in the dark or in the dirt. Thank you, Wasted Talent, for coming and hanging out on the stream. I really appreciate it. Shopcat, AJ, Cletus, everyone. I really appreciate that. No, dead serious. They're getting cold. Tractor lives in there too. No, next year, actually, I am planning. I would like to. I've been playing with the idea. Next year, I really want to get chickens, just because I think it would be amazing to have some livestock again. And also, just then it's something I can do daily, keep me entertained. As well as I want cows again. I really want cows again. Oh, but yeah, we're going to be ending up the stream pretty soon here. I might even say just 10:10. Like I said, every Mondays we're going to be doing 8 to 10, having a conversation. I am very proud of myself for actually keeping that up. I wasn't even here like 15 minutes before the stream. I was like, I got to get home to get ready for stream, because this is important to me. And everyone who's watching and stuff, you mean a lot to me, and I'm very thankful for you guys watching the channel. As well as when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I got this toolbox that could be yours just for subscribing. So thank you all for joining the stream. I hope you guys, everything is better with some cows around. Yes, the good old moo-moos. thank you everyone for watching. I hope you guys check out the coming videos, because the coming videos I'm very excited for. There's some redneck antics in them of pulling this LS out, and it's crazy just how much stuff is planned and coming and already filmed and coming, and it's a mess of excitement for me. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the content very well. I thank you guys for joining the stream, and I hope you guys all have a good night, because I'm about to go to sleep and crash for like 30 years. That's a good sleep time. Thank you all for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and put your foot to the pedal.